which is another topic I want to talk about. Who pays on a first date?
Oh,
Uh,
ideally, both split it.
Split. Okay. Okay. Oh, what you be sorry? Are you sort of old fashioned
I
traditional
would
or
say I'm old traditional. I
okay?
pay for a first date because if it's like I wouldn't just like go out with anyone, you know.
Yeah.
Like it has to be like someone that I picked out of like the bunch, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like the nicest apple in the basket,
But
you
it's the
know.
thing. That's
So
because since
so
it's
if
your
it's
first
me,
date. Yeah.
I of course if it's me, I'll do it for the experience because
Okay.
for me, going out with me is an experience.
Yeah.
That's the way you should see it too because it is like a sort of like a show to them to show like your personality, your colors and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's sort of like you gotta like show your best self.
Yeah.
And that might include
You have to
not
well,
hesitating.
though. That's one thing I've also learned is that I know a lot of people that uh, kind of fake it on
Mm.
the date to
Yeah.
get the
Free.
person to like them,
Yeah.
and inevitably that bites them in the ass at some point.
I think my personal experience, and also because like I was raised by like women. I have more
Mm.
more women in my life than there are men. So like I have their perspective, and like they're like, yeah, if the woman like you should you should um pay for it. I was like, as in like sort of you should have the mindset that you're gonna pay for it, but if they don't offer to pay or offer to split, then you could tell like if their personality is worth keeping. Like you sort of it's sort of like a test. So and
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
I agree with both of you where like splitting is ideal because it is a first date, so you don't know the person. The person could be just like fetching for some free meals and shit. Pulls up at a
That's true.
5-star restaurant.
Uh,
Gold digging bitch, but
Trust me,
if the food digging bitch.
no, I know some people like they go to like a high end restaurants and they order the biggest fucking crap, and then in the end the guy
No,
pays
no,
$100
no,
bill.
no,
I'm like,
no.
oh, you fucking crazy.
No, the first date isn't the high end restaurant, bro. You're doing this way backwards, bro.
It's it's
The
it's,
first
it's
date,
McDonald's. It's McDonald's, bro.
nah. It's
no,
it's Krispy Kreme on Côte d'Ivoire. This is where the first spot is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. Fucking Will told me
no,
about it.
no. The first date, you do something interesting. You know, you go to you show her a interesting place, and
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those interesting places, a donut shop, my friend.
Homer Simpson type shit. If you don't like this,
Hey
fuck out of
man,
here. But
okay,
I'm
yeah,
telling you, if you
but
want a hint, bro, they like donuts. That's what I'm saying. That's the most interesting.
I think you just like
It's the
sweets in
most
general.
common thing.
I think like
Yeah,
sweets in
of
general.
course.
Yeah, what are you
um,
But
saying,
after that, you
Phil?
take them to Mont Royal.
Yeah. What do you say, Phil?
I was gonna specify on my point that the reason why I think splitting is kind of the go-to option is because not for in case they want a free meal or
Well, that
whatever.
was all, yeah, and that was my personal experience.
It's more the idea that like it's not because you're a guy that you got to be paying.
Mm.
You know, you're both equals. You're
Equals,
trying to
yeah,
establish a partnership
yeah,
in a way. So you want to like start on the right foot. You know,
exactly, yeah,
like indicating that you're equals.
yeah.
You know.
Well, that's why I think it's very it's a weird there's the weird double standard where
Mhm.
a lot of people want to be equals, but then when it comes to dating, it's sort of I want the guy to be chivalrous and sort of like
Right.
pay for my half or to like to bring me to this nice restaurant and he's the one who's taking charge and stuff. Which like
Yeah.
that's why for me like right now the dating scene is hella like confusing because it's like you don't want to be offending someone by like, oh yeah, I'll deal with all this stuff. Like, what you think I'm not good enough to like I'm not independent enough to fucking deal with this shit on my own?
Yeah.
And then, but at the same time, it's like, oh, this guy's not chivalrous. He's a fucking asshole. So it's
Right.
like,
But the date ends really quickly. If I noticed that, you know that, right? It's like I wouldn't continue. The thing is, here's the thing: before you go out with whomever, you have to be sure that you guys are on the same page, right? Because if you don't, this is the kind of situation that would happen when you go out with them. That's the thing that you have to like know this prior. You have to like know that they're chill prior
yeah,
because you can't go out assuming that you guys are like wavy on the same like wavelength. No,
Mm.
you can't assume that. That's why these situations happen. You have to know that she's chill from before.
well, that's the thing.
And then
That's why I was like, the context of today is because most people do dates through online dating apps. And so you don't know the
yeah,
person beforehand, right? So you just meet this
yeah,
person, and so you're like, "Oh, hi, I'll pay for half." Like my, my sort of I guess philosophy on this is more sort of like if the date's going well, and you want to have and you want to keep going, you feel like you have a connection, then yeah,
Mhm.
then pay for it, but also like see if she's gonna willing to offer to sort of like
Split.
let's split. It's sort of the mentality. It's not the action itself. It's more the mentalities. I want to see like I want to see what this person like values. Does she
So
value this?
every step of the process is like a test. Like you're
Yeah,
testing the person. Like you test it like, oh, you don't want them to be this and this. You don't want them to be like the greedy type,
and
the
also because
ones that
a lot of guys
yeah.
have this sort of perception where after like if they do something chivalrous, they're expected to have intercourse in the end, or to
That's
have
terrible too.
and to
Yeah,
have a kiss. It,
that's
w-
really bad.
well, I'm saying when you're a kid, when you're a kid, right? You have this sort of perception where you're like,
Wanted to
oh,
smash on the first night.
yeah,
Didn't
smash on
you?
the first night, and then you realize like when if you smash on the first night, the girl's most likely just gonna dip out like in like 2 years time. Like it's
So
not a
you
long term
wouldn't
goal.
care, would you? You just
It's
want to
that, I'm
smash on
saying,
the first
well,
night.
that's why I learned. That's what I've learned. Like very like over the years is I value long term stability over a short term sort of like pleasure, because it's like cheap thrills are nice and all, but after like you always have a rush, and eventually after you get 50 years old and you have this habit, it's not gonna go as well as it's going right now, right? So having a long term stability, having like this sort of like I value family, like and having kids and stuff. So I'm like I'm not out here fucking sleeping every 30 seconds and shit. And also I can't be bothered with people, so I'll fucking lose my mind anyways. So